day I lost my job, I remember getting up and my son was getting ready to go to school. And I wasn't getting up to go to work. I said goodbye to him from my bed. He saw a difference in his dad. We sometimes see ourselves and our worth in what we do. I'd worked in the food industry for 19 years and had a very generous salary. The reality of my budget being $2,000 short every month, at that rate, I wasn't going to survive. I needed God to show up in my situation, and very fast.
We just got married and everything was going really good. One day I went to work and business just dropped right out.
Adversity really came at us from all sides. We were fighting over paying the bills, borrowing money for food, and our home went into foreclosure. There were people saying, you know, perhaps this whole marriage thing was a mistake.
I'm a Class A motocross racer, which is expert class. Over the summer, I was in a pretty bad accident. I hit the face of another jump, going about 60, bounced 75 feet. My wife, she's seen some crashes before. She's seen it all, you know. When she saw me go down, she thought, he'd just pop back up and be fine, and I did. But when she saw me collapse, you know, she had something kind of drop. Figured we better get me to the hospital right away, so they stuffed me into the back of a friend's car. The pain that I was feeling was definitely equal to the greatest I think I've ever felt in my life. They told me, Chris, there's nothing we can do here. The injuries are too great. You're gonna have to have multiple plates and bolts put in through your body.
On January 3rd, I attended church at Living Word, and we did confessions around debt elimination. I went home and made those confessions, and within 3 hours, I got a call from a creditor. It was a $24,000 line of credit that I had with them, and at that time, I had a little less than $20,000 balance on it. They mentioned that I qualified for a settlement. That was a breakthrough for me. When my son and I would pray every morning and every night, I would confess supernatural debt cancellation, and I would confess more than enough income.
I was tying my shoes and deciding that I'm bailing. My youngest at the time, or next youngest, was batting my hands away saying, "What are you doing, Mom? Stop it, we don't want to leave." But I was letting the lack of money dictate how I treated my relationship, the most important people in my life.
We started working on us and getting us right. Then things slowly started working out.
Yeah.
They were doing multiple tests, x-rays, MRIs, ultrasounds. They put a pelvis support on me, and it was crushed in some areas, completely severed, broken. They showed me one picture where the bone was one piece, and it split and went in like this. They said that's where we're gonna have to do surgery on. I fell asleep after that news from exhaustion. And I woke up a few hours later, and I was looking up at the surgeons, and you know, they asked me, you know, Chris, how do you feel? And they were excited. They were smiling like that and stuff, and I realized for the first time, my pain went from a level 10 out of 10 to a 2 out of 10. In
seeking the Lord around what do I do next, I felt He was wanting me to substitute teach. And so I went to work at Edison High School for a 30-day assignment. And 2 weeks into that assignment, they asked me to come back and work full-time the next school year. Realizing that God was calling me to a new career, I started to see a greater call and destiny for my life as well.
A lot of things changed for us. It was not an attractive deal, but when we realized that that didn't dictate us, is that we could handle any of that together, it's a beautiful thing, and our family has been restored. And not only that, our finances are met.
I grew mostly from listening to Pastor Mac.
We would live by what we were taught, is that if you don't quit, you win. You know, it's not just a pretty sermon on Sundays. It's the Word of God, and the Word of God has power. We aren't perfect, but God's grace is bigger than all of that.
Yeah. We did wind up losing the house, but
not each other.
The doctors that were there, they're like, you know, we have some great news for you, Chris. You're not going to need any surgery or reattachment to your spine. I was completely healed, and I went out and went riding, you know, within 7 weeks because I felt that good. Now I found out days later, my friends some coworkers, my pastor, they were praying for me. What's changed my life? How much I've received from this church through the years that I've been planted here. It doesn't matter what adversity comes my way. It doesn't matter how low I might feel, how bad it could be. He'll always come through.
One of the favorite sayings of our pastors, if we don't quit, we win.
It's so important when facing adversity to stay plugged into your church.
The Lord will always provide a way of escape. It's His love and it's His peace.
We will reach a point of victory, and you'll rejoice.
If you don't quit with your faith and what you believe, if you don't quit trying, you will win every time. You just have to not ever give up.